Good evening. Welcome to Three of Cups Divine Arts. I am Liz Whitaker, and we are going to have our tarot lesson today. So this is Liz Whitaker of Divination Station. I'm just going to go ahead and, of course, share this out on a few pages, on a few places, so bear with me for one moment. Hi, Quinn. How are you? And like I said, just bear with me as I share it out. Okay, got it there, got it there. We'll share it there. All right. How's everybody doing today? Hi, Quinn. I see you're here. If you just joined in, please say hi. Let me know you're here. Today, I will be looking at the fours, getting it out on my page. Okay. I think we're good. I'm doing all right. I went back to work on site today, so I'm a little sleepy. Monica, hi, gotcha. Um, yes, Jill, hi. So as you can see, some people are sharing it out. I will be doing card pulls at the end. Last week, there was quite a few people on, so I'm probably going to cut the limit at about 15 or fewer. Okay. Last week we had close to 25, and it was an additional hour. Oh my gosh. So, depending on how I'm feeling, I'm going to cut it off around 10 or 15. Okay. So I make sure everybody gets in. Oh yes, and I did get my let's see if I can get it in here. My Witches Against White Supremacy shirt in. It is by artist Brooke Lynn. I know I posted the link a couple different places in my group and on my page. If you are interested in the link, let me know and I'll fiddle around and get it in the comments. But I just got it today. I have another one coming, so I'm definitely glad to add this and to support an artist of color as well. Brooklyn was recently on a couple podcasts, I believe. I know right off the top of my head, she was on the Witch Wave. So if you've never checked that out, that is an excellent podcast. So if you do want a card pull, I am doing The Universe Has Your Back today. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit and using an Oracle deck. Hi, Louise. I'm good. Like I said, I'm a little bit sleepy. I went back to work on site today, so just a little bit, a little bit of getting used to again. If you do want a card, all you got to do is share the broadcast out. So if you look up in the comments, there's a few people that have already commented with hashtag shared. Okay. We are looking to grow the membership of Three of Cups Divine Arts. Best way to do that organically is to have our members and viewers share. So, yep. Oh, absolutely, Quinn. I gotcha. It's going to be a bit, and I'll give. Yep. So Louise, just share the broadcast out with that share button. Comment hashtag shared, and I'll get you on the list. Perfect. There we go. And sometimes I do apologize if I repeat myself. Sometimes Facebook comments get a little bit behind. Parf. I got you, Quinn. All right. So, yes, Three of Cups Divine Arts. We're a collective of amazing, readers, healers, witches, practitioners of all different kinds. So we are looking to always grow our membership. And that's why we ask you to share, just to get it, just for your people. Gotcha, Samantha. So today, the main purpose of my broadcast are the lessons. So I am going through each number of the tarot. Okay. Finished up the major arcana, and we have been working our way through the minors. So today, we are looking at the fours. And let me get them in order. Okay. So the fours in the tarot, numerically speaking, are all about stability. Okay. Think of a square, has 4 points. So it's a stable structure. It's rational. It makes sense. It's not going to tip over. You know, if you have a pyramid or a triangle and you flip, you can't flip it over. But a square is stable any way you put it. And again, that rationality really plays in. It makes sense. And when you're doing a reading, if you're doing a larger spread and you get, you look at the multiple numbers, right? If you get 3 4s, it's abundance and diligence. So there's a lot of stability, a lot of that feeling going on. If you get 4, that's more order and peace and rule of law. Think of the emperor. Okay, the emperor is number 4, and I'm not bringing in the majors as I'm going through the suits here, but the numerology counts for that too. So 4, the emperor, does stand for structure and order and bringing in kind of the wildness of the 3s and the empress. So it kind of brings it all in. So you can kind of think of that when you see some 4s popping up in a reading that you're doing. Or if you're receiving a reading and you're getting a lot of 4s, kind of think of that kind of energy. Structure, order, square. So people say, hey, we're square, 4 square meals. It makes sense. It's a good thing. It's a boring thing, right? And not that stable is always boring, but it is, you can count on it. Okay, if someone's a square, right? If they're square, they are boring. They're not going to go out there and, they're not going to go and like get drunk and party with you all night. They're a square. It's predictable. Predictable. That's the word I was looking for. Structure does define our lives. If we were always like creating and always putting forth this like wild creative energy, we actually wouldn't get anything done because you need that follow through. Like if you do the human design, right? You have the innovators who are like the idea makers. They need the follow through. They need the person that's going to pick up their ideas and make a plan out of it. They need a project manager. 4s are, kind of project manager. Think about that. We have 4 directions: northeast, south, and west. We have the 4 elements. Again, sets. We have 4 limbs. So we have arms, we have legs. That's how we know our place in the world, is with these directions. So 4 of Wands. One of the like happiest cards to see in the tarot, right? It's kind of right up there with like 2 of Cups. We talked about a couple weeks ago. It is also one of one of my sweet cards. So when you're talking about love, romance, relationship cards, and this comes up, it's a really good sign. Things are either going really well, or it's a good things are coming. If you're going through a hard time, 4 of Wands is like a break in that hard time. Okay, it's a release of a difficult situation, and you can welcome in the celebration. Hi, Christina. Christina from SoCal. Welcome, welcome. We are just starting the fours, talking about Four of Wands. And if anybody here is a reader or anything like that, and you have any comments, feel free to pop in and let me know where you're at with it. I want to know what fours mean for you too. And kind of, have a conversation about it. Like, how does it make you feel? I always feel really good when I see this card. It's prosperity. It's familial bliss. So we have that idea. It really looks like there's like that family in the background, right? A warm hearth, warm and welcoming. A celebration. Like, it kind of looks like a wedding under the wedding. Oh my gosh, I forgot the word. What's that word? It'll come to me. The chuppah. So it really, is that idea of people coming together and celebrating. And again, if you have been going through a really rough time, this has been coming up quite a bit in the past couple weeks. And I'm kind of saying, like, get out there, do some social distance, hangouts. I know in Erie County, Western New York, they're saying it's safe for 25. Yes, happiness, rest, success. So 25 people. I'm still being very cautious. I'm not really going out a lot. Really anywhere. I have been back at Rising Goddess Shop to do readings in person. So if you are in Buffalo, New York, I am back there doing readings. As always, I'm doing them distance with Facebook chat, video chat, or Zoom meeting, or really whatever works. I've done them on FaceTime. But yeah, if you kind of feel a little like cooped up and like boxed in, I've kind of been telling people, get some people together, go in the backyard, go on your porch, anywhere where you can be safe, and really celebrate it. Okay. Celebrate that that pulling through a rough time, or just to even lift your spirits in that moment. Four of Cups. This is a little bit more difficult to kind of get and almost like get the meaning of the card, right? It's introspection, that we can see can be introspection or contemplation. Some people look at it and say the figure on the card is dissatisfied and is kind of pouting. Where is that disappointment? Is he thinking about it in his head? Is he focusing on the disappointment in these cups? Is he just disassociating and just totally spacing out and doesn't even know, So we get past that introspection with disassociation, right? The position reminds us of Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree, waiting for enlightenment, which is fine, I guess, but you're going to sit there for a long time, just like Buddha did. You got to reach out and grab that cup. Okay. You got to reach out, spirit. It's like a mini Ace of Cups, right? It isn't overflowing like that Ace of Cups. But it is, Louise, I do about a half hour of a tarot lesson where I talk about the cards, and the card pulls come after that. Okay, so it's going to be towards the end of the broadcast. So it can be, like I said, that kind of mini Ace of Cups feeling. And should he take the cup? Does he have enough? Does he not have enough? What's going on down here? So this card really asks you to kind of key into your intuition. What is it in this situation? Is he thinking about what he needs and should take the cup? Is he, ignoring what is being offered and settling for what's in front of him? Or do we have to take every cup that's offered to us? We don't have to take every opportunity just because it's offered. If it doesn't fit, if it isn't a good fit, we don't need to take the cup. So kind of boundary issues play in a little bit there too. And he's kind of also closing off his solar plexus chakra and a little bit into that heart. So we get those energy centers. And I like to pay attention to how the figure is interacting in that way as well. So maybe he's not listening to his intuition. He's ignoring it. You know, cups are emotions. There are feelings. So is he ignoring his feelings? You know, there's a lot that goes into this card where you can just kind of look at it and like, oh, you know, just pay attention to what's around you, which is part of it. Paying attention to your surroundings, considering your options, and really acting with what's best for you. Okay, really going with your intuition. Okay. And I forgot I was going to also go through the other suits, but I'll just go through and do one at a time. I'll figure it out eventually. I'll do it the same way more than once. We'll see. Four of Swords. So Four of Swords is a little bit more straightforward to understand than the Four of Cups at first glance, right? So it looks like he's resting up to and including possibly, you know, in a sarcophagus or coffin, like dead. It's very rarely death, though. I will say that. The card is very rarely about that. But it is about repose, recovery. It's recovery from an illness. You know, long-term, short-term, anything like that, where you really just need to give your body a chance to heal. So it's not just like, it's not just like taking a nap, resting. It's really deep soul rest. Okay. It can appear post-trauma. So it's not necessarily just physical. It can be, you know, mental, it can be trauma. Hi, Carmen. All right. So I am doing readings towards the end right now. I'm going through a lesson about the fours. So I'm going through a few different suits of the fours, and then we'll get you. And I do ask that the broadcast be shared. So just share it in a group or anywhere you're a part of, and I'll get you on my list. Okay, Carmen? So the Three Swords, again, with that relationship to the chakras or the energy centers, we have third eye. We have a sword hanging over third eye. We have a sword hanging over the heart. We have a sword hanging over the solar plexus. And we know swords are air, our thoughts, our communication. A lot of that it's weighing down, right? It's weighing down on each of those energy centers. So we need to rest and kind of heal. You know, think of them as being removed and coming up. Awesome. Thank you, Carmen. Meditation. Any retreat from thought in a mindful way. Yes, disassociation is a retreat from thought, but it's more of it's not done with intention or mindfulness. It is more so, that's what this card is that meditation, that meditative feel. Sometimes when it comes up, one of the questions I'll ask is, have you been meditating? I mean, the answer is like 90% no. And we all should. Like any, you know, healers, light workers, if you're doing shadow work, if you're a reader, everybody should meditate. Myself included. Four of Pentacles. Miser. Frugal. Rich in material items. Yep, I gotcha, Michelle. Rich in material items. but devoid in spirit or soul. Possible financial insecurity. So if we look at the figure, he's obviously some sort of royalty, king, he's got a crown. And he is placed away from the city. If this is the city he rules, he has placed himself outside of that. He is away from that. And he's sitting there with his coins, with his pentacles. And he is holding on to them so tight. Remember, 4 is our stability. This is a perceived stability. Money gives us security. Yes, absolutely. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yes. Shelter, food, clothing, medical care. It can clothe us. Yeah. Grasping at money, holding on to it so tightly. But if you look, he doesn't have room for anything else. Okay. His feet are firmly planted on these pentacles. He's holding this one so tight, he can't reach out a hand if anybody comes to offer him anything. And up here, it's on his head. He can't stand up if someone approaches him. So it's perceived stability. How are we going to balance, having that financial security after maybe a period of instability? And it really feels good to not worry about where rent is coming from or to have money for food. Understandable, right? That is understandable. But at some point, we kind of loosen our grip on that idea, right? It's that scarcity mindset. Using your material possessions to, oh, awesome. I've never even thought about that, Christina. Using material possessions to define you. And if you look, again, using the energy centers or the chakras, he's again blocking, that very important, heart and solar plexus. His hand is covering his throat chakra and his crown is completely blocked off. His root chakra is blocked. He can't do anything with it. Again, it's perceived stable. Very stable. He can't even get up. So those are all of the 4s in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I will show in the Tarot de Marseille, just for a comparison and a contrast. Now remember, Tarot de Marseille is a pip deck. Okay, so these are the wands. So we have showing them crossed. So 2 pairs crossed. Again, it's going to be very stable. Going to be a nice base. 4 of Cups. Here we don't quite have that offset of the 3 with the 1. 4 of Swords. So again, we have the 2 sets crossed. And then 4 of Pentacles. And again, someday I'll learn the pip cards. I'm pretty good with the majors in the Tarot de Marseille, but kind of when it comes to the pip cards, it takes a little bit more. I have to see it in a spread because I have to see it and how they interact with all the cards around them. Just doing a single pull with that deck doesn't really do too much. Really? Oh my God. Perfect. My roots in larger than life. Love it. So we have 4 of Wands. So 4 of Wands here in the Thoth deck, let me get it clear for you, is completion. So here, this is a sun wheel. So it's an ancient Norse symbol of the sun and sun worship almost. And down here, we have Aries. And up here, Venus. So it has these planetary correspondence as well as being represented by Aries. This is actually the card of the 3rd decan of Aries. So it's that last third of the Aries season. Decans are smaller pieces of the zodiac pie. So if you're looking at the zodiac and you cut it up into 12 easy equal pieces for each sign, that piece, if you cut it into if you cut it twice and cut it into 3 pieces, 10 degrees each of those is a decan. Astrology has layers. Tarot has layers. When you put them together, even more layers. So, and I know from studying all that to kind of bring this in here. And these are going to be, so we have the ram and then the dove, ram, dove. So it's that equal and opposite energy, balanced, completion. Four of Cups. Here is luxury. So, and that, really does, that echoes the Tarot de Marseille card, right? Luxury. So when we look at this, we have, again, that overflowing cups. Kind of like how in the Rider-Waite-Smith, that cup being handed was reminiscent of the ace, so's this. So here, again, we have it kind of coming down and the water cascading down. We have Cancer down here. So it represents the zodiac sign of Cancer. Water, emotions. And I thought I saw something else up here, but now I can't locate it. I think that looks like the moon. Cancer is definitely, a moon planet. So luxury, really leaning into those good emotions, leading into those feelings. Four of Swords, truce. So Four of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith was rest, right? We're no longer fighting the battle. We're no longer fighting the illness or the trauma. Truce. So here we kind of have the remnants of the battle around it. It feels very energetic, like static almost. But then we have this really kind of calm X with the swords coming together at a point. And we have Libra down here. And then up here, we have Jupiter. So expanding, Jupiter's expansion. So it's almost like expanding your understanding of the other side and working in that truce. Libra is all about justice. Okay, so after a battle and there's a truce, we rest. And Four of Discs, power. And to me, and I don't know if Lady Frida intended this, but to me, this kind of looks like a power circuit. If someone is like writing out like electrician things, plans, I don't know the word for that. But you know what I mean. It kind of reminds me of that. Like this would close the circuit, right? If this was closed, it would like light up. So power. And here, we talked about fours being all about directions. We have the 4 elements here. So we have that idea of stability, directionality. The sun up here. So it's represented by that sun energy, that solar energy. Solar energy is very masculine. And then down here we have Capricorn. So Capricorn is very serious, very detail oriented, up to and including money and plans for money. So it makes sense that there's an idea to kind of have masculine control over resources. Discs are resources, money. So that really makes sense how that means power, right? Control over resources is power. So that actually really resonates for this Thoth deck. I really like this because as I'm doing these, I'm really able to deep dive um, the Thoth deck in ways that I just haven't been able to before. And it's really kind of clarifying a lot. Um, as I'm working through it, like I'm learning as I'm teaching. So the fourth deck that I did want to illustrate today, um, and if you do follow me or you're friends with me on Facebook, you know I've been all about supporting artists of color, deck creators of color. There are not a lot. There's more decks that have inclusive imagery, which is awesome. However, there are fewer tarot authors or deck creators of color. There's a lot of content creators on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. I follow a ton of them and they are amazing. Yeah, Tori, exactly. And that's kind of why I like to show them like side by side, especially like the big three, the Rider-Waite-Smith, the Thoth, and the Marseille. Showing those are kind of the three main systems that the majority of decks are based on. So it really helps to see the meanings like together. So I did want to show, I'm featuring, it's Dust to Onyx, a melanated tarot deck. It's by Courtney Alexander. This deck, when I saw it, it is finally in a smaller edition. It was in that large edition initially, like that size. And she did recently put out a smaller deck, and I did grab that. So it comes in this kind of really beautiful, really like luxurious feeling and looking box. They're gilt edged, so they're edged in gold. And they have a really nice like matte feel. Like the ones where if you put lotion on your hands and touch them, you're going to have fingerprints on them for the rest of eternity. Just me? Okay. So I will be showing this deck as well. Okay. Does come with a little deck, a little deck box, little deck book. So here we have 4 of staffs. So staffs are wands. Okay. So the imagery is, some are reminiscent of Rider-Waite-Smith, but she really goes kind of on her own. There are astrological symbols and meanings. I just got this I think on Saturday. So I haven't had a chance to really jump into it. So I would really be interested to see, you know, where that works out. But again, we have celebration, solid foundation, arrival. Okay, and we have these, you know, kind of really wonderful like colors and like patterns that just pop. 4 of blades or 4 of swords. And I do, so it's one of those decks that does assign different objects to the suits. They still have the same meaning, okay? Staffs are equal to fire, okay? Blades are air. So it's meditation, it's relaxing, it's recovery. And the card, it feels really relaxing to me, and I can't really even say why. I don't know if it's like the symmetry or how everything is just kind of lined up, but I really like, in the blue, that nice like deep blue. And 4 of gourds. So 4 of gourds would be 4 of cups. And I love this one. So here again, we have that idea of sitting, meditating, silence, and inaction. So we have the 4 in front, and then the other one is kind of more of like a thought. It's a thought or a dream. So I really like this one too. And then 4 of coins. I'm trying to look up if there's anything specific that she does with it that I miss. It's security, investment, inheritance, self-assurance. And you can kind of see that, like, I kind of like picture like the stride. I kind of picture her like walking with that confidence with her wealth. So I'm really excited to kind of dig into this and, you know, really support artists that are trying to get their work out there. Okay. And then the majors, she calls the suit of ether. And that's kind of cool too. So here, for the Fool, we have the emerging one. And again, I love that imagery. It's really like, it feels like leading with your third eye to me. So that is kind of my featured deck. Now I will get into the readings. We're just at 10, so that is perfect. I will do one last call. If you do want a reading, please write. Please share the broadcast out, comment #shared, and I will get you. Today I am pulling The Universe Has Your Back. Okay, so just a nice little positive message. Again, I just started back to work on site, so my brain is a little bit fried, so I hope Oracle cards are okay today. Monica, you are first. And so this month, the decks that I have been featuring are either inclusive as far as race or orientation. Did the Light Seers Tarot, and I did Next World Tarot. Oh, absolutely, Christina. And if anybody has any, you know, ideas or, you know, decks that, you know, you think I should have, definitely pop the link in there because, you know, Lord knows I don't have enough, right? I do have a few coming on Kickstarter, but they probably won't get here until probably the fall. So you'll kind of just have to watch out for those. And I think I know what deck I'm gonna feature next week, but we'll see what comes in the mail. All right, Monica. Carmen, if you tell me, I can definitely use it. All right, and Monica. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. So what does that mean? It's kind of about giving up control a little bit, right? So remember that Four of Pentacles. You know, there's no healing, you know, being done because there's no wiggle room. There's nowhere to move. But if you give yourself permission to feel the feelings, even the bad ones, even the messy ones, the ones that don't feel good, that's how we work through. That's shadow work. Allowing ourselves to feel our feelings and work through them, however long it takes. That's shadow work. Okay, March 18th. All right, Pisces. All right, and Katie. and I'll pop my the link for Divination Station down there. Okay, then feeling the need to control your feelings could be very Capricorn like, right? So letting yourself kind of be messy in that emotional realm. Really let it be. See what that feels like. If it's something you don't do often, really lean into it. See what it feels like. It might feel dangerous, right? What's going to happen? I don't know. But know that you're safe. All right, Tori, just comment #shared. I do ask that you share the broadcast out. And so we can grow Three of Cups Divine Arts. It is a collective where, again, readers, practitioners, healers of all kinds can get together, and there's different shows. Like there's some that are just readings. There are more that are like discussion based. So definitely, if you haven't liked Three of Cups Divine Arts, give it a like, give it a follow. And I'm going to go ahead and put mine down there too for Divination Station. And I do have a group as well, as does Three of Cups Divine Arts. There is discussion. There's, meme sharing going on, of course. So Three of Cups Divine Arts, as well as I have a group attached to my page as well. Cool. Okay. Gotcha, Tori. All right. I am going to cut off my list at Tori because that will take us. Okay. So, Christina, what I would actually wonder is what else you have supporting you that kind of makes you not really jive with much Capricorn. You might have some things in your other houses or planetary stuff that makes you that kind of makes you less Capricorny. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Katie, joy is the ultimate creator. So when you feel joy, it really feels easy to create love, to create, art or whatever, altar space. I'm kind of seeing when you are feeling that joy and feeling that way, you can express it through literally whatever you're doing. Okay. If you're cooking, your cooking is going to be infused with joy. And it's just going to be that much better. Quinn, you are next. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. So if you are so what I'm getting here from this is when the world kind of closes in and gets super stressy, close your eyes and take some of those meditative breaths, right? That Four of Swords energy. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. Shutting out the chatter, shutting out the negativity, and really creating a sacred space for yourself to really heal and to really tap into that universe energy. All right, Louise Jane, you are next. All right, Louise Jane. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. I love that. So the universe is conspiring to make you happy. What are you doing to meet it? Okay. What are you doing to meet the universe with what you're manifesting. What are you doing to get there? All right, Samantha, you are next. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. Oh, I love that card. So again, Samantha, when you're in that positive mindset, you see positive. You get almost stuck on optimism came through, okay? So you almost get stuck in that happiness. Just like you can get stuck in negative feelings, right? It's all about what we are putting out and how we're perceiving things. So gratitude is a really great way when you're having fun, check in and appreciate it. All right, Michelle Anthony, you are next. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. So what does that mean? Trust the universe to, well, I mean, the deck is called The Universe Has Your Back, right? The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. So if you do spell work, if you do sigil work, candle magic, anything like that, it's kind of that set it and forget it energy. You create the sigil. You charge the sigil with the intent and the energy. Then you tuck it away for a little bit. Usually, I think 14 days is usually what people say. And then it just starts to work because you forget about it. But you've kind of programmed it into your brain and put it out into the universe. That's kind of what this is saying to you. Whatever you think you need, trust that the universe knows what you actually need. Also, kind of like that, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Whenever we get exactly what we think we need, it ends up having, consequences. All right, Caitlin, you are next. I honor how I want to feel. And I think this does go a little bit beyond just love and light, right? Because how many times when we know I want to feel good and we don't feel good, we try to force ourselves out of that thinking, right? We try to force ourselves out of that moment. And we're really not doing ourselves any favor by forcing happiness or forcing, well, I should feel good, so why don't I? Now I feel worse. Just honor it. See it. Recognize it. Acknowledge it. Talk to it. And it will pass. If you don't honor it, it's just going to keep coming back. Okay? And again, that is for Caitlin. And I'm glad that resonates for you. Christina, you are next. And next week, I will be going over the 5s. Yeah, it is okay to feel any and all emotions. They are all valid, okay? Does that mean some are healthier than others? Yes. Does it mean that that we should act on all of our feelings? No. It's okay to feel them, and they're valid. And we need to sometimes check them right there. Okay? Yes, you are welcome. Feel your feels. All of them. Christina. So next week, again, we will be going over the fives and be looking at a different deck. So a different featured deck. And fives are difficult. Fives are disruptive. So if you've been watching along, you've watched this journey go. You've watched the journey from the ace, to the 2 where we're doubling, we're coupling, to the 3 where we're bringing in help, we're making friends, to the 4 where we're nice and stable. Tune in next week for the fives and see all that kind of come tumbling down. All right, Christina. I lean toward love. When I lean toward love, I am led. So when you lean in, that's where you go. You grow whatever you feed. If you feed and lean into things that serve you, things that make you feel good, things and people that accept you, you are led to even more of those feelings, okay? Billy, hello. So it's that we lean into, we feed what we give energy to, okay? So really do a check-in and see what makes sense right now. What makes me feel good? What makes me feel loved? Where am I putting this love? And let that lead you and guide you, and follow that a little bit. Like follow the trail, follow the little, follow that and see what happens. All right, Carmen. I know you are asking about a job within the year, so I will pull a card and kind of interpret it with that in mind. And again, thank you very much for sharing to your group. This is a wordy one, bear with me. My capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. So I'm going to key into, I'm going to hold this up here, okay, Carmen? So you can kind of, really get a feeling for what it says. I'm going to key into that last part, okay? And the power I need when I am lost. So check into your power. What is your power? Where does it come from? Was it lost a little bit on the way? Have you been having trouble focusing it in one direction to kind of key in and, kind of pull that job to you? I think that's the part that you need to key into, okay? The job will come. Awesome. Awesome. So Carmen, really check in with that power. Where do you need to refocus some power and energy? Okay, maybe you need to pull some in from some other directions and really put it into, what's going to bring that job to you. Whether it's retuning your resume or making sure you're getting it to the right places. Are you putting it up on sites? What steps are you doing? Are you networking in whatever industry or business you're in? And kind of breathe that confidence into those steps. That will bring the job to you. Do in the manifestation work. You can put your power into that and allow the universe to kind of draw that path out for you. You're welcome. Adrian, you are next. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented with me. So alignment, okay? Adrian, alignment. If what you're doing isn't in alignment, things aren't going to feel right. If you have a job that goes against your morals and your ethics and your values, it's not going to feel right. If you really align yourself, it's going to be very clear. You're going to be able to get there. So really check in with, the choices that you're making and where you're at, and have they aligned with you? And make adjustments. Course correct. You don't have to switch everything up, but make some adjustments. Okay, and that was for Adrian. Make sure you are living in alignment. All right, Tori, you are next. All right, and Tori, you are the last one. Perfect timing. I like to end right about 9, especially now that I have to go into work and I can't just work from cats. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. So leaning on certainty, leaning on faith is really, again, gratitude, really seeing the best, really seeing the positive, and really leaning into that. And sometimes, I will say this, I know these cards are very, very positive, and I think we all need a little bit of a positive message this week, but also keeping in mind that, love and light does not fix the world, okay? Love and light, it's not. It's love and light, and everybody looking within ourselves and making sure that we are putting in the work and we're doing the work to make that world a better place, micro and macro, in our own circle, our friends, our family, our neighbors, our coworkers. Are we doing our part to realign the universe? It's not just putting, the Care Bear stare into the universe, right? It's not just love and light. We have to do the work. We have to see what's broken and acknowledge it in order to try to fix it. And that's all I got today. So thank you very much. Make sure you if you tune in on Saturday, you're going to see Bridget and Mythic Journeys. And I believe she's continuing her talk on animism. She's been looking into some amazing topics. So check that out Saturday, 3 of Cups Divine Arts at noon. I will be back on next Monday, again with the 5s, doing a deck focus and some mini readings. Follow 3 of Cups, join the group, follow me at Divination Station, join my group, tell your friends, share it out. All right. Be safe, be careful, and I'll see you next week.